I've been involved, like I said, for about 10 years with Wisconsin Alliance for Excellent Schools and now the Wisconsin Opportunity to Learn. And some people think, well, Middleton-Cross Plains, why are you concerned about school funding and quality teachers and all that? Because you have it all. And we do have a reputation as an excellent school district. And school funding formula is, there are maybe 2% of the districts in the state that it's working for. And Middleton-Cross Plains area is one of those states. We have a growing population. We have a voter base that supports education. We just passed a $60 million school referendum with 68% of the vote. So people say, well, why do you care about what's going on in the rest of the state? And I think my passion is for public schools, but it's for public schools across the state. And it's not because I'm a do-gooder with a bleeding heart. It's because I think that's our future. And I'm getting older, and I want educated kids supporting all of us in our old age as well, selfishly. But I also think it's essential that we all the kids in the state have a foundation. So what does Middleton-Cross Plains have? You know, we're trying to do the things that Julie just went through. We've got excellent teaching staff. We have programming for our teachers that assist them in their professional development to reach the goals that the school district has set. So when we had a literacy initiative, we spent money developing our teachers. We had, for 2 years when we had the ARA funds, we had teacher trainers who got the extra development, who went around and helped the rest of the teaching staff develop their skills around our literacy initiative. So that's an example of what we were able to do as a district that's growing. So we're getting more money from the state, although we only get about 11% state funding. But it is working for us. And still, we're not able to do a lot of the things that are up there that are proven things that essentially will guarantee that kids are able to succeed. We have a 20% free and reduced lunch group, which is growing. People think about Middleton-Cross Plains as a hoity-toity suburb. We have, I think now, 100 kids that have been identified thus far this year who are homeless. And people never believe me that in Middleton-Cross Plains we have homeless kids, but we do. We have a growing ELL population. So what are we trying to do about it? Well, we started a 4K program, which is wonderful. Really, we need to get the kids from 0 to 3. The funds for that in Dane County have been cut consistently. Brain development at that age is very important. Is that really in the domain of public schools? Nobody else is doing it, so it really, essentially, it could be. So we're doing the early childhood. Our kids don't come, just like your kids don't come to the start line in 4K or kindergarten at the same point in their development. Some of our kids are reading at a 3rd grade level in kindergarten. Some kids have never had a book open to them. Some kids have never sat still listening to a story before. So everybody comes to the start line at a different point, and a lot of the kids have not had the opportunities that my kids had and a lot of kids in our district had. They've never gone to a museum. The TV shows that they watch are pretty trashy, I think. I think that the exposure that the kids have just in terms of opportunities are very, very different across the spectrum. So how can schools solve that? Well, one thing is to have programs that are wraparound programs. They start earlier, the kids get a good, nutritious breakfast, which we provide in some of our schools. They have tutoring during the day and after school. Lighthouse schools, the wraparound program where the kids are there. And they actually can get 3 meals a day. Even Middleton-Cross Plains can't afford that. And is that what's going to make a difference for our kids? I think it is. Extended year where kids in the summertime, not necessarily an academic program, but opportunities for kids in the Madison area. We have 5 beautiful lakes. Some of these kids have never been to a beach from the lake. Now, not that many people swim anymore in our lakes, but they do get out in canoes and kayaks. I mean, those are wonderful opportunities for kids, and there's educational value that you can build into taking a kid on a canoe trip on Lake Lindgren. So a summer school program, a full-year program would be wonderful. We can't afford to do that for all our kids. And is that important? It's very important, I think, if you're really going to make up the opportunities that these kids didn't have. So those are some of the things that were on Julie's list that even Middleton-Cross Plains can't do, given what the constraints are from our funding formula. It doesn't recognize that some of our kids need a whole lot more than some of our other kids. sure who is, because the county budgets have been cut, the city budgets have been cut, the municipal budgets have been cut. So I think in terms of just planning for our future, we need to get as many of those kids at a good point in their career so that they are able to learn, they're excited about learning, and they see school as a very positive thing. So that's my point of view as a member of a thriving school district that's growing, that has excellent education, it's got a good reputation, it's got good test scores.